Hi there, Dr. Carmen McGinnis here. Today, as soon as that plane goes over, we're going to talk about 3 reasons why parents don't discipline their children and what to do about it. Now, if you're not a parent, please don't tune me out here because how we were all parented participates in who we are today. And I think the plane's gone. Hi, Dr. Carmen McGinnis back with you. So, as I said, if you're not a parent, don't turn this off because, in fact, you were parented. And how you were parented participates in the person that you are today. So you may well find that you learned something from this about yourself. And if you are a parent, definitely don't tune me out because you're going to learn a lot today about what goes wrong when parents don't parent their children, when they don't discipline their children. And that might not be you, it might be a family member, it might be your co-parent or a friend, someone in your friend group. So stick with me. I think we're going to cover a lot of ground today. So the first reason that parents don't discipline their children is that they want to be liked. And you know what? So do I. I like to be liked too. I love it when my children hug me and tell me they love me and they act like they like me and all that good stuff. But in fact, I also know that what causes true lasting appeal is consistency and being given what you need. And what children need more than anything else is to be disciplined. If you find that statement disturbing, it may be that you're one of those people who associate the word discipline with punishment. And please understand, that is not at all what we're talking about here today. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time discussing the actual and accurate definition of the word discipline. As a noun, discipline is pertaining to the ability to act in accordance with rules and laws, social mores. If you have discipline, you follow the rules and don't break the law. You follow social convention and don't step too far outside of it so that you fit in with the tribe, so that you are one with some group of people. It doesn't have to necessarily be, the sheep. It could be the people that are going in a slightly different direction, but we all need to fit in somewhere. And the verb discipline pertains to teaching that skill, teaching rule following itself. So we see that it's not punishment at all. Now, many parents might feel like they don't want their children to be cookie cutter characters. They want them to be free spirits. I've heard this a lot. And certainly, I don't disagree with it. I managed to raise 2 fully mature adults now who are, in my opinion, free spirits. And I'm working on a 3rd who is studying to be an actress, and she's a bit of a free spirit. However, before we can become that independent adult who makes their own rules, perhaps an actress like my daughter Lillian, or an entrepreneur, an artist, or creator of some sort, we must come to understand what rules are. That's a first step, and what it means to follow them is a second step. The very first rules a child has are those that his parents make for him. And typically these are meant to keep him safe. So stay near mommy. I'm a mommy, so I'll use me as an example. Stay near mommy. Don't stray too far. When you stray a short distance, don't touch hot or sharp objects. And stay away from high ledges. And later, as we go out into the world, into the neighborhood, the front yard maybe, watch out for cars. So those are a few early rules that all children learn from their parents if their parents are willing to teach them. In developmental terms, this is safe haven and secure base. Those are the two terms first used by the attachment psychologist John Bowlby. Safe haven is that place where mommy and daddy make sure that everything goes your way. It's all about you when you're little. You're warm and dry, fed on time, receive unconditional love, and lots of eye contact and cuddling. Later, when you're crawling, cruising, and then toddling, it's secure base. And that's the place to which toddlers can explore the world from, and under a moderate amount of supervision, just the right amount of supervision as they begin to prove themselves to their parents. But this requires rules. We don't stray too far away from mommy. When you stray a short distance, don't touch those hot things and sharp objects, and don't go near those high ledges. And later still, when kids are straying as far as the neighborhood, watch out for the cars and definitely don't talk to strangers. Now, these are life and death matters, and most parents enforce those sorts of rules because they realize that their children's safety is very important. It's when the child is a little older, perhaps around the first time they roll their eyes at their parent or stick out their tongue or maybe mumble under their breath, "I hate you," that those parents, those same parents who made them follow the rules earlier and want to be liked, get into deep trouble. And that's when it's important to understand a few things about children. Number one, they don't really hate you. They just aren't feeling the love right now. For kids, there's often two things. There's on and off, or yes and no, and there's not a lot of gray area. So if I'm not feeling the love, I hate you. And that might be for something like, say, your 8-year-old isn't allowed to ride her bike to Target with her dollar bill that she got from Grandma. They're just not loving you right then. So the eye roll and maybe the mumble under the breath, "I hate you." And two, what you don't allow your kids to do lets them know that you love them as much, if not more, than what you do allow them to do. In fact, the body of research and my own clinical experience shows us that it's those adults who weren't taught to follow rules as children who tend to have strained relationships with their parents. And they tend to have relationship challenges in general. So don't worry about whether your kids like what you don't let them do or what you make them do. The underlying message that you're giving them is that mommy loves you. Mommy loves you too much to let you ride your bike to Target, and too much to let you live in a bedroom filled with empty yogurt containers and Snickers wrappers and toys all over the floor. The second reason parents don't discipline their children is that it feels good. It feels good not to. It's just plain easier to do nothing. In behavioral terms, we call this negative reinforcement. It takes a particular kind of effort to pause the television, get up off the sofa, go up the stairs, and make sure that your 12-year-old is actually cleaning her room. It's so much easier and more reinforcing to do nothing at all. And I don't mean to pick on TV watching. I mean, relaxing is lovely, but sometimes we don't go discipline our children because we're working. We might be making dinner, we might have work that we brought home from the office, or we might actually work from home. So believe me, I get it, but it's tricky, but it has to be done. It's what your child needs. It's your responsibility as a parent. So what gets parents off of that sofa or away from their computer and their work or out of the kitchen is a sense of responsibility, the kind of responsibility that comes from, you guessed it, having received discipline as a child. Remember, the verb discipline pertains to the teaching of rule following. And as a parent, a rule you need to follow is to teach your own children discipline. So we see how lack of discipline can cross generations. Just as family recipes are passed on, so too is self-discipline, or the lack of it. And this is a perfect lead-in to the third reason why parents don't discipline their children. They simply don't know how. We don't have a lot of time here on YouTube. I like to keep these videos under 20 minutes if I can for an actual parenting workshop, and I'll give you a few basics here in just a moment. However, don't leave it there. I'm in the process of recording my COPE for Parents course, which will appear on my online course training link, which I'll put in the description box. So please visit the link in the description box, sign up on my mailing list, and you'll be notified when the course launches. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel today while you're here, if you haven't already, so that you can receive my discounts for my YouTube subscribers. So, a few how-to discipline tips for today. Very basic, but critically important. It's what happens after the behavior that counts. And this is true whether it's good or bad behavior. So let's talk just briefly about bad behavior, because I think that's what we all worry about the most. So bad behavior, for example, if your 9-year-old is refusing to do his homework, he's ignoring you, tuning you out, won't put down his device, whatever, and you drop what you're doing and give him a 10-minute pep talk about how important it is to do his homework, he might just refuse again tomorrow, because what kiddo doesn't want 10 minutes of undivided attention from his parent, his very busy parent? And also because he's managed to avoid the task for another 10 minutes. Kids want their parents' attention more than they want air and water, really. And while parents understand the pitfalls of delay, kids don't. Delay just is a space of time in which they're not doing that thing that they don't want to do. So that 10 minutes is very important to them. So instead of the 10-minute pep talk, tell your child that he'll get his after-school snack and a half hour of whatever floats his boat, whether playing in the neighborhood or time on his device or television, whatever it is, after his homework. And this takes us to sequence. If you already gave him a snack and you have to call him in from playing with his best friend outside in the neighborhood, or pry his device out of his gripping hands, then you've got the sequence all wrong. First homework, then the reinforcers, period. And one of the things I've had to do as a behavior analyst is go into homes and actually contain the reinforcers. Kids who are allowed to just walk into the pantry and get sweets or make themselves a bowl of ice cream and things like that, flip on the TV, use mom's iPad, or they have what they call their own iPad. All of the devices in my house are mine, and you can use that one. This one's mine that I don't let you use. That one is available for your use with my permission. So first homework, then the goodies. So there's your how-to parent teaser for today. Go subscribe to the site and then sign up on my mailing list via the link in the description box, and you'll see that you'll get a discount there for YouTube subscribers. And while you're there, check out my recent course, Raising Your Inner Child, which is up already and running. It's a course for all of us. And if you watched this video and thought, I don't think I was parented quite perfectly, then you might find Raising Your Inner Child to be really transformative. The subscriber code for that particular course, Raising Your Inner Child, is YouTube17. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for my midweek sneak peek as to what we're going to talk about next Sunday. I'll see you Wednesday. Have a good week.